Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of DDTS, episode 794. I'm back with another video, and happy Friday. It is June the 26th, 2026. I'm back with another video for y'all today. Believe it or not, it is 12:54 a.m. on this Friday. I am not asleep just yet, but I wanted to make this episode of this video that I am behind on, in my opinion. I will be posting clips of the last video that I done on Monday, and it was on the Michael Jackson movie, the review. I did a review on the Michael Jackson movie that was made and came out this year of 2026, starting Javar Jackson, Neil Long, Coleman, Domingo, and it was truly an amazing movie. But I will be posting clips on my Instagram, on my TikTok, or whatever you are watching it on. I recommend you go watch the video if you have not yet. But if you haven't yet, please do so. And what I mean by that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I have new videos available. Today, y'all, I'm about to do this video, and I've been waiting so long to do this video. I've been wanting to do this video for so long, but I've been having so much stuff going on, and I've been trying to get through it, but I'm okay. But as long as I'm able to do this video, get this content out for y'all, I'm truly am grateful. I'm appreciative. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored to provide y'all with some of the greatest content that I can provide. But I just want to put this out there because a couple of times that I've done videos and I post my shorts and I post my clips and everything, it seems like everybody wants to spread their negativity on my stuff. Everybody wants to spread their negativity on my stuff, on what I do videos on, because I want to give my honest opinion, my honest truth, how I feel about the situation. But this the thing though, like I said, you're not obligated to watch my stuff if you feel like it's not for you. You're not obligated, and nobody is forcing you to watch my stuff if you don't like it. What's that term and what's that saying that everybody use? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Now, I know I say stuff on my videos that, maybe I shouldn't say them in that way, form, or fashion. But honestly, this is what y'all got to realize, that I'm a YouTuber. I do commentary. I give my thoughts. I give my opinions. I give my perspective. And I'm honest. And if I get anything wrong, I will admit that. I will do a video over and over admitting that I got this wrong, that I got that wrong. And that's why it's good and it's amazing that technology is the way it is. Because I know we got AI that's taking over, that's doing a bunch of stuff. Like, it's hard to believe that this is real, that is real, because AI is taking over. But let's be honest. I've been looking at AI. And AI, it's really been taking me by storm. And I just gotta say this. I'm just gonna let it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let it do what it do, because we cannot stop it. So yeah. And for those of you that has been watching my videos, I really want to say thank you. I appreciate you, the love, the support, everything. So we're finna go ahead and get into this video because we're 4 minutes and 34 seconds in. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So today, y'all, we're going to be talking about the passing of Clive Davis. Now, for those of you that do not know who Clive Davis is, I've done some videos associated with Clive Davis. I might have said Clive Davis's name in the past when it came to doing videos on P. Diddy, this and that and the third. I would say Clive Davis this, Clive Davis that. If y'all have been following me long enough, and if you watch those videos that I did on P. Diddy like a year or two ago, or whenever I did them, I might have used Clive Davis's name. As a matter of fact, I know I did. And I will admit that I did. So yeah, if y'all don't know who Clive Davis is, Clive Davis to me, and honestly, he was a record producer and he was a person who was not just a record dealer, who just wasn't a person associated with music, but Clive Davis was an individual that if you didn't do things by his terms, or by his way, what does he do? He will punish you and he will make sure that you pay for it and he will make sure that you are no longer here. Now, y'all know what I'm about to say, and that is this. Let's be real and let's be honest. And I'm going to say this. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston. Rest in peace, Left Eye. And rest in peace, Phyllis Hyman. Now, I'm going to talk about how Clive Davis played a role in all of these women's and all of these superstars and all of these people's and legends' demises and everything associated with it. Now, I'm going to say allegedly and I'm going to say truly. That's why it's called technology. That's why Google is your best friend. And if you do not believe me, I did my research, and make sure you do yours. And if you feel like this is not enough research for you with what I'm saying on this video, you're more than welcome to research Google again, or ever how many times that you want to search it, because I have no reason into giving y'all the wrong information. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me take a little sip of my coffee. Now, the reason I want to say first, rest in peace to Phyllis Hyman. Phyllis Hyman was a singer. She was a superstar. Now, I watched the video on Phyllis Hyman. Another content creator and a YouTuber did a video on her. And the person that allegedly and truthfully did a video on her, please follow Ashley Say So, because Ashley Say So is truly a remarkable YouTuber. And she does Hollywood Scandals, where she talks about celebrities from back in the day and present. And she basically balls it up and she tells a story. And it makes you so interested and it makes you so invested in her channel. And she's truly one of the best to do it. So shout out to Ashley Say So. I doubt that she will watch this video, but honestly, y'all, let's be honest. Ashley Say So is one of my inspirations. She's one of my inspirations, as other YouTubers and my best friends. If you know, you know. But shout out to Ashley Say So if she gets to watch this video. If she stumbles upon this video, thank you, Ashley, for being an inspiration. Now, the reason I say rest in peace to Phyllis Hyman is because it is alleged that Phyllis Hyman, who was a successful singer and she has had unremarkable hits. I did not listen to her like that, but I know of her. I know she was best friends with Patti LaBelle. I know she was cousins of the guy that played Grandpa Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Earlene, I think his name was Earl Hyman. He played as the grandfather on The Cosby Show, and he played as Bill Cosby daddy on The Cosby Show. They was relatives. They was kin. Phyllis Hyman and Earl Hyman, they was related. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, the reason I'm going to say this, the reason I say rest in peace to Phyllis Hyman is because it is alleged, and it is some sources out there, and it could be some truth to it, that Clive Davis might have had something to do with the passing of Phyllis Hyman. Now, it is said that Phyllis Hyman, she suffered from depression and she had some mental health issues and everything. And it is said, that, times was getting hard for her. And, guess it had something to do with her music, allegedly. And let me be sure, because I don't want to get anything wrong. So give me 1 second and I will get that. I'm gonna basically look into that. I should have had my notes out, but I'm going to go into it now. And I should have been prepared. Okay, so what I did. So here we go. So it is alleged, and it's truly, that Phyllis Hyman, she was a American jazz and R&B singer. And she truly and allegedly said, it is truly and allegedly said that Phyllis Hyman died by suicide, like she took her own life. And she took her own life and she died on June the 30th, 1995. And she was 45 years old. And it says that she overdosed on a mixture of sleeping pills and alcohol in her New York City apartment just hours before she was scheduled to perform at the Apollo Theater. Now, that is what I've read, and that is what I, want to put out there. And you can Google it yourself if you feel like this isn't adding up, but I'm really being honest with y'all. And it says, honestly, her untimely death was culmination and deeply personal struggles and professional heartbreak. And like I said earlier, mental health. Hyman battled bipolar disorder, depression for years, and she also struggled with the substance abuse, and she often complicated her emotional well-being. And she also had personal losses that she had going on. And it is said, the period that leading up to, her passing was marked by the profound grief, notably the devastating loss of both her mother and her grandmother in a close succession. And this is what we want to get right here. The industry struggles, in her struggles with the industry. And it says, despite her undeniable vocal talent and beloved catalog, Hyman frequently expressed her frustrations of lack of mainstream commercial success. Online community discussions highlights how she often felt overshadowed by other artists and clashed with the record labels. And this is the part where we want to get to, where it basically came to the fact that, that she committed suicide. And this is what I heard a lot, that she left a note. And it says the final note. And this is what it said. It said, she left behind a suicide note reading, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. And the legacy impact. While her life was cut short, Phyllis Hyman's legacy in R&B, jazz, soul remains enduring. Fans, peers deeply revere her mystic voice and emotional depth. Two of her albums, I Refuse to Be Lonely and Forever With You, were released posthumously. Okay, so that is, what was said, what I read, what I heard numerous times. And it is said when it's said about the record labels, I've heard that, quote unquote, Clive Davis could have played a part in her record labels failing and her having trouble with her record labels. So the reason I say Clive Davis had something allegedly to do with it, like I said before, more than me have said this and more than me feel like this. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Once you get from under Clive Davis's wing, and if you don't abide by him, you pretty much in trouble, because it is alleged that Clive Davis was a powerful person within the music industry. And I really feel that Phyllis Hyman, she was not going to take no disrespect. And from what I've read, Phyllis Hyman was not the type of person to take no disrespect. Like, she had some feistiness to her, but she also battled depression. She also struggled with mental health. She also struggled with her record labels. And so much built up in this woman. And plus, she suffered personal losses. So when you got to deal with mental health, depression, you having trouble with your record labels, you ain't getting your mainstreams, you're not getting your royalties, you're not getting this, you're not getting that. And it's like, damn, so much is building up inside of you, you do not know where to turn. So I really feel like Phyllis Hyman, she got really tired of the disrespect. So my thing is, she might have told Clyde that I'm done with you. Like, if it's true that, you know, she was under Clive Davis's wing, I really felt like she found out about him and she got tired because she wasn't getting what she was deserving and wanting of. So I feel like this. She basically told Clive Davis allegedly, you know what, I'm done with you, and that's that. So what I feel, Clive Davis had to do something to make Phyllis Hyman do what she did. And she said, I'm tired. That was the final note, and that was the final words that she said before she took her own life on June the 30th, 1995, at the age of 45 years old. And that's why I say rest in peace, Phyllis Hyman. I read this allegedly. I've studied this allegedly, that it is possible that Clive Davis, in my opinion, might have had something to do with Phyllis Hyman's passing and her unaliving and her taking her own life. I said that, and I said what I said, and I'm going to go with it. So rest in peace, Phyllis Hyman. Now, let's go on to Left Eye. Now, we want to talk about TLC. Now, you can't talk about Left Eye without talking about TLC. Now, let's get into it. Now, it is alleged, and there's some truth to it, that Left Eye might have been another victim of Clive Davis. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. But let's get into TLC. So it is alleged that TLC had gone broke. They had signed under Clive Davis. They found out, allegedly, that Clive Davis was taking their money. So what do? It is certain stories surrounding this TLC story that I've heard. It was one alleged story that TLC went in Clive Davis' record office. They had weapons, and they pointed it at Clive, and they told him, you're going to give us our money, or you're going to suffer the consequences, pretty much. That is one story. And then the next story is that when nobody was at the record place, TLC pretty much broke in and got what was theirs. There was another part of the story. But I really feel that whatever the story was, it had something to do with the demise and the passing and the murder and the death of TLC member Left Eye. Now let's get into it. So when Left Eye left TLC years ago, before her death, it is alleged that, TLC, she started filming her final parts of her life. She left TLC. She started doing her own thing. She started doing these spiritual things. She started, doing her own little thing. So, she was recording herself. She was making a documentary. And this was around 2001, 2002, because she died in April of 2002, correct? So let's get into it. So it is alleged that TLC, your member, Left Eye, she was talking about a bunch of things. She was talking about the industry. She was talking about the music industry. She was talking about how things actually work and how artists are treated. So what happens when you are an artist in the music world? What happens when you are in the industry? What happens when you talk too much? What happens when you get close to exposing the truth? What happens when you get close to exposing the truth? What happens to you? What happens to you? They find a way to silence you. They find a way to silence you. And that's what I feel like what happened to Left Eye. Now let's go ahead and get into why the story, and let's go ahead and get into this thing why I say rest in peace Left Eye. So in April of 2002, in a red car, TLC member Left Eye, among many other peoples, 5 other peoples, or how many that was in the car. They was riding in the car, because I seen the video plenty of times. It's on YouTube. And it's pictures associated with it. I'll make sure I put those up there. So it is pictures surrounding all that, the car flipped over. And allegedly, Left Eye, Left Eye Lopez, she was the only one to pass away. She was the only one killed. She was the only one that was harmed. She lost her life. So everybody else walked away with no injuries or with no scratch. But I really found it ironic, and I really found it weird that Lisa Lopez was the only one that died. I heard this story for years. I discussed this for years with myself and many other people that will listen to me, that love talking about this stuff. I said that Clive Davis had something to do with that, and I really feel like he got his lick back for what, Lisa Left Eye Lopez was saying about the music industry. And I also really feel that he got his lick back for what TLC did to him, So that's why I say, rest in peace, Lisa Left Eye Lopez. And I said what I said, and that's my honest opinion. Now let's get into the last thing associated with Clive Davis. And that is rest in peace Whitney Houston, which on my next video it's going to be about Whitney Houston and Oprah Winfrey, but that's not going to be right now. That's going to be later. Let's get into it. So the reason I say rest in peace Whitney Houston is because it is alleged and truthfully that Clive Davis is responsible for Whitney Houston's death, the drowning, everything. Because a lot of people have been talking about this so many times ever since Clive Davis passed away at the age of 94. It is said You know, Whitney Houston died the night of Clive Davis' Grammy party. She drowned in the tub. And she was supposed to perform at the Grammy in 2012. So she died on February the 11th, 2012. She died the night of Clyde's Grammy party. And the thing was, while everybody else was partying, Whitney Houston was drowning. Or better yet, she had drowned through, this and that and the third. And, Whitney Houston, she was one of my favorite artists. She still is. She's one of my favorite artists. And that still don't sit right with me. Because I really feel that Clive Davis had something to do with that because, maybe he felt like Whitney was not making him any money because she was, alive. Because what I read and what I've discovered, many artists that's in the music world don't make a lot of music when they are alive. But when they are gone and when they have passed on, they make more money when they are, quote unquote, gone, demised, pretty much. And this is what I'm going to talk about. Whitney Houston, she died February 11, 2012 at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. The legendary singer accidentally drowned in her hotel bathtub while underlying heart disease, chronic cocaine use cited as contributing factor. She was 48 years old. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I really feel that Clyde has something to do with Whitney Houston's death because he felt like she was not making him any money. I think Clyde got tired of Whitney, and I felt like he had to get rid of her. And the fact, and I've heard so many times that somebody could have went up to Whitney Houston's hotel room and drowned her, and she put up a good fight. It is alleged she put up a good fight. She was not going down without a fight, but I really felt like that she was unalived. I understand it is said that she had heart disease, and I understand that, she was battling substances, doing substances still, or however you may say it, but I'm going to say this. Clive Davis, I feel like, allegedly and truthfully, I feel like he hired somebody to get rid of Whitney Houston. Because he was losing money from his deals. He was losing money. And he basically felt like that if Whitney Houston was gone, he could get his money back. And he can get all the money that he could off her. Because he couldn't get money off her the way he wanted when she was alive. But he felt like now that she's gone, if she's gone, he can get all the money that he can. And that still does not sit well with me, but hey, it is what it is. And I miss Whitney Houston to this very day. Whitney Houston was a legendary performer and singer. And I said what I said. Now, rest in peace, Whitney Houston. Oh, not quite yet. It is alleged, and I'm going to say it plenty of times. Brandy, Ray J, Brandy. Whitney Houston allegedly gave Brandy a note. And whatever was in that note might have had something to do why Clive Davis allegedly unalived Whitney, or pretty much had Whitney Houston unalived. And you can look on Brandy's face that she knows something. You can look at the guilt on her face. You can look at the guilt on Ray J's face, even though it is said that they dated a couple of years. Something happened. And the only peoples that know what happened, Clive Davis, with Brandy and Ray J. Clive Davis probably got secrets that he is carrying to the grave. And that's why I say rest in peace, Whitney Houston. Rest in peace, Phyllis Hyman. Rest in peace, Left Eye. Rest in peace to any victim that had something to do with Clive Davis. Because I really felt that Clive Davis, he was a powerful individual. And it is said that he passed some of his power to P. Diddy. And it is said that some of P. Diddy's peoples went too fond of Clive. So, I'ma let y'all take that in for a second. So what do you all think? What do you all think of this video? What do y'all think of my opinion? Well, let me tell you this before I end this video, because I think I'm finna get and go to bed. I might edit this. I'm probably edit this when I wake up later on today in the morning, hopefully, God's willing. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Clive Davis was an evil individual. I do not feel bad for him. And now that Clive Davis is no longer here on this earth, he was 94 years old, I really feel that the victims can come forward and can tell their sides of the stories that they was not able to tell when Clive Davis were here. Because when Clive Davis were here, Clive Davis was a quote-unquote allegedly hit person. Like, if you angered him, or better yet, wronged him, he was gonna, get rid of you. And he passed some of that power on to P. Diddy, allegedly. So, yeah. But rest in peace to Phyllis Hyman, Whitney Houston, and Lisa Left Eye Lopez. And that's going to be my video on DDTS 794. Thank y'all for joining me, and I will see y'all on the next video. I really want to say I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Love y'all. Thank you, and bye-bye.